And we're off! Our top two runners starting in the Sanctuary. Bottom two from Link's house. Everybody has... Hey, not sure, there you are. Haha.
I also, there's a special commentator with me. My 3.5-year-old son is in the room with me, so you might hear some words from him as well.
Hello.
I think we can... Hello.
Nice to meet you.
So starting with Boots does change your routing a little bit, starting from the get-go here. Old Man Sunshine and GFE immediately going to Bonk Rocks, not finding anything there. But no reason to skip checking Lumberjack either, because you have these boots already.
No, especially if they have early access to it, no.
Nice tree pull with the 80 rupees, and Old Man Sunshine even picking up a full magic drop. Uncle Start not paying out today. Gamachu and Yalta will have to go somewhere else. Looks like they're headed back to Sanctuary. And that is just a mail upgrade on Lumberjack. Unlikely we'll get to see that, but you know, if we happen to kill Aga for some other reason, maybe you grab it if you're in the area. We got all the money this seed, though. 20 rupees on the tree and from the bush crab. Old Man Sunshine already up to over 300. Nice sword there in the Thieves' Hideout. And yet even more rupees sitting in the mushroom spot. No bombs anywhere, but we will be able to buy them, no problem. Old Man Sunshine and GFE actually going all the way over to check Ped with that early book. Just 10 arrows on the Ped, but at least we know.
It's always nice to get an early Ped check.
Yeah, if you're not doing it after fighting Mothula or something, like this is probably the best possible time to be doing it. GFA killing a few extra guards. I think he might, they might be like in the bomb, in a prize pack that has bombs or something. He was just trying to get an early bomb. Actually dropping down to the well without going to buy bombs, despite all those early rupees. But will it pay off? It will not. He's going to have to come back here for that extra chest. Old Man Sunshine, unhappy with this lack of bombs, decides to come from the south, but he didn't get the bush bombs. Gamachu, though, showing off his game knowledge. He knows that those Bonk Rocks always have a bomb, so he gets a quick early bomb. We'll be able to maybe get that turned into more here in the Blind Hideout. Old Man Sunshine not dismayed by this lack of bombs. He will be able to just bonk his way over through the risk game and get his mushroom. GFE buying bombs. Nice bow there for Gamachu in the Blind's Hideout, but no bombs. Bombs just sitting on the library for Old Man Sunshine. He will be probably the only one of our runners who doesn't buy bombs here. Gamachu unluckily not finding any bombs here in Blind's Hideout. It's going to have to go south to buy some before going back up to the well. GFE now double dipping the well to get that one chest that he left behind. Burns a bomb, though. He didn't like that one. It wasn't a good bomb.
iPads to the rescue.
There were no bombs anywhere in Kakariko, apparently.
That is so strange.
I don't know. I guess the library counts as Kakariko.
Yeah, you could
Maybe.
definitely count the library as Kakariko, but not having a single bomb drop in all of the villages is definitely a strange phenomenon.
When all's said and done, though, everyone will have full cleared Kakariko, and all they found here was a bow. Not the worst thing to find. Except, you know, how Eastern's a pendant and all that. Worst seed ever. The early book, though, is kind of telling, because combined with the boots, that's a lot of that dungeon that you're going to be able to do. The only thing you can't do is the boss itself.
Right.
Nobody wants to double dip desert, though, so we probably won't see anyone go straight there.
But it actually, with early boots, early book, it's actually not a bad choice, because even without a fire source, you can clear most of it, and then if there's something in the back, you could just go with Misery Mire. If Misery Mire is required, just finish it at that point.
Yeah, you're guaranteed at least one of the two items from desert with this equipment. Possibly both of them, plus whatever's on the ledge, and then a Gina's Cave, which is normally out of the way, you can do on the way to the dungeon.
I'm curious to see how many of these runners are going to use the fake flipper south of Link's house to turn in that mushroom, and if it's not something that's worth progression, to hard reset so they can keep it for a fake powder.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of immediately doing the fake flipper, and so is GFE. Going to
He
turn in that
apparently read
mushroom.
my mind.
Yeah, boots actually make that kind of nice, because instead of having to like bomb yourself or line up properly, you can just bonk into that statue, and it puts you just in the right position to do the fake flipper. Old Man Sunshine, however, going up to the front of Escape. He hasn't done the Uncle check yet, neither has GFE, so this is a little more valuable for him. Kiamashu following GFE over to the mushroom check. Just
Now with
5
rupees, yeah, definitely hard reset. Keep that mushroom.
Yeah, GFE does hard reset. He will be able to fake powder later if he wants to. I'm personally like not a big fan of the fake powder for Magic Bat, but you know, it doesn't really cost you anything to save the mushroom.
No, and if you have it for late, you also use it for later in the game for anti-fairies if you're skilled enough. You certainly could try to do it.
Yamachu does save and quit after spending his mushroom. He will not have that for later. And GFE's headed over to Eastern. Certainly not the most desirable place to go right now with it being a pendant, but you can full clear this, and it's even green pendant, according to the
So
tracker
you get
here.
an extra check. Actually, it would probably make more sense to clear Eastern before going to Sahasha's Closet, but if you get something interesting in there, then that could be nice. And just a bunch of money, so nothing crazy there. I like Old Man Sunshine doing the escape because there's all the items are easily accessible. You have sword, you have boots. It's in that tier 1 locations where if there's something there that's important, you don't want to forget about it.
Yeah, I think like putting off the escape, I can understand why people do that in this particular situation, because not having anything required for Darkhold access, but having the sword, it makes it slightly more likely it's going to be Aga. And if you go to the front escape too early, that means you double dip the walk there. Old Man Sunshine, though, his play definitely paying off. Finding gloves there in the map chest, or in the boomerang chest, rather. And speaking of Aga,
can secrets break up Death Mountain if he likes.
Absolutely. Yalto finding the cape there in a mini Moldorm cave, putting us just one piece away from Aga.
Yuck. It's supposed to be Fast Friday, not Aga Friday.
Old Man Sunshine does save and quit from Zelda's Cell, deleting his opportunity to do Dark Cross.
Oh, there's Flute.
Yeah, Flute in Eastern Palace. That gives us access to the mountain, which right now is just 1 in logic check plus 1 out of logic check.
Yeah, they can see what's on top of Spectacle Rock as well as what's inside and sequence break the old man if they would like.
Alright, Old Man Sunshine goes to Back of Escape. This will tell him what's in Dark Cross.
Well, there's Kena Samaria, so it's probably the map, I would guess.
Yeah, if he's saving quitting, probably the map. I wasn't paying that much attention to know for sure. Kate Samaria, definitely a nice thing to find. It's not really in like an out-of-way spot.
Oh, there's
though.
Hookshot. Wow, loaded Eastern
Yeah.
Palace.
Hookshot and the flute.
So that puts all of East Death Mountain into total logic at this point.
So it was a God Eastern, that meaning that the first 3 checks had all 3 items. But with Green Pendant on the boss, Gamachu and GFE will both go through these dark rooms to get that item.
Yeah, and they're relatively easy dark rooms, especially when you use your bow to mark that eye.
Oh, it's an item in Dark Cross. The map was in the map chest.
Oh,
Surprising that Old Man didn't do the Dark Cross chest. Not like the super easiest dark rooms, but definitely a lot easier than some of the other ones.
and GFE will play his ring around the Armos Knights.
Fudges the top right stretch just a little bit, so we'll have to have a little slower fight here.
Flute gives you such good movement throughout the world. I really like an early flute along with the early boots. It really is really nice to see.
All right, GFE and Gamachi both taking down Armos Knights. They'll go turn in that green pendant immediately to see if that was worth the time. Meanwhile, Old Man Sunshine doing the water walk from Ice Rod Cave to get over to some flipper checks. Looks like he's going to go up to Hobo first. Just 20 rupees on the green pendant. Okay, he was just
It's also
going
peace of
around the
mind
long
too
way.
that there's something important.
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually really like that. Just turn in that green pendant, get that early stuff out. And nothing in Waterfall Cave either.
All right, Yalto dropping down to Back of Escape. We'll be able to see if he goes on to Dark Cross to get that mystery item in the dark. Saving and quitting.
I think that was Ether on behind on Zora's Ledge.
Old Man Sunshine can do the splash delete with this equipment.
Yeah, if he's familiar with how to do it, then he certainly can. Unless it's vanilla flippers from Zora, which would be kind of cool. Nope, just a piece of heart.
And he is saving and quitting. Little unfortunate. Always feels bad to sequence break the Zora area and have to leave behind a unique item.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely is unfortunate, but not knowing what Dark World medallions you'll even need, then it may not even be important at all.
So Gamachu and GFA getting the flute and the hookshot from Eastern Palace and going to South Shore instead. Makes a little bit of sense because, these are pretty dense location down here on South Shore, and there's like 5 different things that would make the mountain trip just a little bit nicer.
Such as the extra glove.
Yeah, extra glove or the moon pearl in preparation for finding the mitts up there. Or even like something to make Spike Cave doable if you were to find Dark World access up there.
Yeah, exactly.
Sword for Ether Tablet. Fire swords for Hera. Game 2 flutes over to Ice Rock Cave here, while Old Man Sunshine checking Agina's.
I believe
Yalto
we
making the
got
desert
20
play.
bucks out of Ice Rock Cave.
Yeah, something like that. Yalto and Desert Palace. This is where the items were kind of pointing us. But, just a big key in the first chest.
So we gotta get at least one of the items, perhaps two, because the small key will be in the big.
Gamachu also doing the flipper checks before going to the mountain. I will see if he does the splash delete over to the Zora ledge. GV right behind. And Yalto finds in Desert Palace the other dungeon item. Kind of frustrating.
Be really nice to get a lamp here.
Just 10 bombs. Was there something on the desert ledge that Yalto's going after?
I saw the compass.
Gamachu setting up his splash delete here. 3 arrows into the wall, 2 bombs on the floor, hop in the water. Like magic. A piece of heart. I think maybe he didn't mean to do that. Jiffy having a little more trouble with it, and because of the water walk, he is now out of luck. He has no way to do it now.
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah, if you mess it up with the water walk, it leaves you in that standing on water but can't actually go anywhere state.
Yeah, that's too bad for him. So with all the items I got out of Eastern, sorry about that. With all the items I got out of Eastern, Death Mountain is certainly probably the most item dense location left.
Yeah,
so
I'm
those
super
we'll
surprised.
definitely find our progression there somewhere, whether it's Aga or we'll get Dark World access with Mitts and Moon.
I'm super surprised to see Gamachu going into Desert, having the flute and hook shot.
Oh, there's Armor and Pearl. An old man. So that means that Lamp is gotta be somewhere on the mountain. $20 on top of Spectacle Rock. There's our lamp.
The
Side
lamp!
Spectacle Rock.
So Desert Palace was completely single dippable if you got the gloves from the escape and the lamp from the mountain before going there.
For sure. Absolutely.
Yalto and Old Man Sunshine headed over to Eastern Palace while Gamachu finds out that Desert was not the play. Yes, the lamp does put Aga in logic, but we don't talk about that.
No, we do not. There's still so many locations on East Death Mountain to check before Aga would be on the totem pole.
Yeah, we're just a glove or a hammer away from not having to do Aga.
Actually, getting a glove here would allow you to completely clear out Death Mountain and get knowledge on Turtle Rock too.
Paradox with some bombs and some more bombs.
Well, there's all of our bombs from Kakariko.
Some money to buy bombs. And a piece of heart to survive some bombs.
We were wondering where all the bomb drops were. I guess they were inside Paradox Gate.
This is looking more and more AGA by the minute.
Yeah, it certainly is looking that way, unless Moldor, Lamolas has progression. But you have all of Tower of Terror that you can do. Oh, there's Quake. Ugh. All the medallions are in weird places today.
Spiral Cave, you're our only hope. Brr, brr.
Well, they could still check Tower of Terror.
Yeah, with the mirror. Fortunately, GFE does not have that quite yet.
No, he does not.
I don't remember where it was, honestly.
I was going to ask if you remembered where it was.
I have no idea. The runners just all happen to have mirrors for some reason. Oh, Gina was a Gina, right?
Well, then GFE will certainly check Agina while he's here in desert. He'll be able to full clear desert in one fell swoop, though.
No, he doesn't have the glove.
Oh, so yeah, so he can't. I apologize.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna get to single dip desert, even though everybody could have.
Oh, for sure.
That book was just really, really troublesome. And the problem is, like, they're all gonna come back to desert to kill Lambo before they go do Aga. Which
for
is,
sure, you definitely want to
really
kill
bad.
Landmo before you do Aga. Because they could have the other glove.
They might not though. Because if I remember correctly, the glove was in the boomerang chest, right?
Right, but the
So it's out of
Landmolas
logic.
could have the second glove upgrade to get us into Dark
Yeah,
Mode.
I mean it's possible, but like unlikely.
I really like this Plains Tower of Terror. It's a crystal, you can full clear it, and the dungeon was nice enough to give you the big key early.
Oh yeah, Lambo couldn't have a glove. Because the first glove is locked behind a glove. So you'd have to have a glove to get to Lambo.
Right, you'd have to have at least the first glove, but he could have the second glove.
No, he can't because the first one is locked behind the other one that we haven't seen.
Okay.
The boomerang chest is locked behind the small key.
Gotcha.
Behind a glove. Oh,
I
man,
somehow
such-
missed all of it.
Yeah, a dark map check there. I didn't actually see anything though. I'm sure chat's on it. And this will be our first look at Tower of Hera from Old Man Sunshine. Nice bottle on the
yeah.
ether tablet. There's 20 rupees in that big chest. You're also down to a single heart here on this Moldorm fight. I mean, like, Moldorm doesn't really do like a lot of damage or anything, but when you're fighting with the fighter sword, sometimes it's hard to avoid getting bumped by him, and just a couple bumps would take out Yalto completely.
Yeah, for sure. And it's so easy to get hearts right before it, so. So it looks like pendants at Thieves Town and Ice. The rest are crystals, and I believe Swamp Palace was the other 5, 6.
Yalta switches to Kate in preparation for the last phase, but you can't activate the cape immediately after you switch to it, and Moldorm just went right into him. Jiffy doing the super speed version of a Harapot here. Gets it fairly quickly.
That's always really nice to see the new stuff that runners are learning as the game progresses.
Looks like we've all converged on Tower of Hera.
Come on, Tower of Hera, you might be our last hope. Controlled arm not
Down goes
letting
old man
anyone go through
Sunshine.
today.
Down goes Yelto.
Yeah, he got all the runners today. Take no prisoners.
Hey, our first Moldorm kill, GFE.
Yay! Just Heart Container bought our first crystal at 27 minutes and 40 seconds.
And that was the second item, so no hair basement. It's nice. And
So now I
think
guess
we're
you
down
go
to
kill Landmo.
Yeah, we got Landmo
hopes-
and Dark Cross we haven't seen.
Yeah, that should be it. So one of those two will either potentially have, well, Dark Cross could have the other glove, I guess, or the hammer. So we need a hammer essentially to avoid Aga. Or the other glove.
GFE going for the Splash Delete, but I think it may be broken from the Armos kill earlier. Yeah, so what we're talking about here with these the key logic here in the escape, the two chests after this one that Gambit's checking right now, this is the map chest. The next two chests, Zelda's Cell and the Boomerang chest, are logically locked behind finding the small key of this dungeon. That small key we found in the back of Escape, which means that it's locked behind a glove. So this glove that Gambit is going to pick up in the Boomerang chest is locked behind the other glove.
That's some crazy logic to try to keep in your head. Right there.
Looks like Old Man Sunshine will be the first to go back for Landmo. Which, if you've been listening, we know is out of logic. Landmo, whatever he drops is out of logic. It has a possibility of being something that lets us skip Aga, but that's specifically the hammer, and that's it.
Yeah, basically. If it's not the hammer, we're going up the Aga Tower.
Gamachu's going up to Dark Cross here. I think this is actually our first look at this. Nobody else wanted to do the Dark Room. But Gamachu having the lamp is a much easier decision.
I saw somebody in Dark Cross.
Did somebody
but
do it?
I must have. I think Old Man Sunshine did Dark Cross.
Oh, okay. In that case,
That was where the boots were.
it was the empty chest. Nice. Cute. Yeah, so this is definitely logically required Aghanim.
Yeah.
There's still the possibility that Lamo saves Old Man Sunshine, but it's pretty unlikely.
Well, Gamachu headed into Aga, so he's following that there's not going to be anything important on Lamo, and he's just going to do Aga. And this is going to be that long trek up the tower because they have really no good items to get through this fast, unfortunately. No silvers, no master sword, no
I mean,
fire
the bow
rod.
itself is pretty nice, but it's
It's
we don't really
nice,
have that many
but
arrows. Gamachu's down to 6 already.
It's going to be that long 6-minute climb up the tower, though, unfortunately. If Old Man Sunshine gets the fire rod here, which he certainly can, it will make his climb a little better.
Yeah, absolutely. Won't save him from doing Aga, but definitely could make it a lot faster. Yalto, hit A. There you go.
So, Corey, how many blue balls do you think Aga's going to spit out today?
I always say 3.
All right, I'm going to go with 4. I'm wondering, usually, sometimes with a forced Aga, I tend to see less as far as Aga blue balls, but we'll see what the seed does. I didn't even see what Lamo dropped.
Well, chat's not freaking out, so it's probably not the hammer.
No.
But, you know, it's not like the worst time loss that Old Man Sunshine went back for Lamo. The other runners may opt to do this. Anyway, Yalta doing it right now, actually. But the other... And GFE. Wow. Okay, so Gamachu might end up coming back there anyway before he has, like, the mitts. But, you know, it's still a crystal. Get stuff out of it. It's nice.
Well, what he could do is he could, once he gets the other glove and has access to Misery Mire, he could just clear Misery Mire and Landmouse with better weapons, so he could have a better and quicker Landmouse fight. There's one blue ball from Aga. And 2.
Old Man Sunshine going into Eastern again. Did he leave after grabbing the flute?
He might have.
Well, this is actually really good for him then, because he kind of needs that hook shot.
He does.
I mean, it's horrible because you have to double dip this now, but maybe he just grabs the hook shot and leaves.
So we're at 3 blue balls on Aga. There's 4. Come on, Aga, cooperate. Oh, there's 5.
Is it over
God
yet?
darn it.
Oh my gosh.
That's 6. Aga's like, no Dark World access for you today. There's 7.
That's a whole nother cycle. That's
Yep. Oh my. Aga's not cooperating today at all. Now there it goes. Aga 1 for Gamachu. 7 blue balls is the number for today. Neither one of us got close. So with hookshot, do you go to the west side of Dark World? Well, it looks like Gamachu's heading to Pod. But I'm wondering, is it
Bow and
better
lamp.
to get over to Thieves Town because you can get there with hookshot?
no, I feel like bow and lamp. You absolutely go into pod here. Like you can like cross the river and everything, but it's out of logic, right? Like we don't have hammer or flippers, and the only glove we have is out of logic. So the only thing that's actually in logic here in the Dark World is pod. So pod has to have something.
So Pod has the other glove.
Yeah, hopefully it's the other glove or the hammer. Worst case scenario would be the flippers, I guess.
I like how all the runners have paused in Dark Cross saying, why didn't I get an item? Well, because you already have it. Oh, there's the big key.
Yeah, pod completely bow locked, but we have the bow, so it's okay.
Yeah. And actually having mirror in this dungeon is really nice. It makes it a lot faster than not having mirror.
Old Man Sunshine now has his hookshot, and we'll head over to Paradox, hoping against hope that this is how you skip Aga, but gonna be a little disappointed.
Yeah, he'll definitely be disappointed for sure. He will find all the bombs he could have used in Kakariko, though.
Gamachu, did
But
you
that's
not
about
pick
it.
up the arrows in Aga Tower? Come on, buddy.
And our first item is a heart container.
Yeah, everything else in the front's gonna be a small key now.
Yep.
Yeah, just to clarify how the boots starts work, you guys. Before any items are placed anywhere, it gives you boots. So from before any items are placed, the game considers you as having the boots already. And instead of placing the boots somewhere, it places a nothing item. So the nothing item isn't where the boots would have been. It's just an extra item in the pool that is nothing.
Oh, I always thought that would have been where the boots would have been.
No, that changes. If it was like that, that would change like how like the placement logic works. Like the boots wouldn't be in logic until you found that.
You really learn something new every time. Oh, there's our flippers.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Not the item they were looking for, that's for sure.
Yeah, all the flippers do for us is he puts that West Darkwood in logic now.
It doesn't really help us just yet.
Yeah, it
Get
just
to
feels
the
bad
gloves.
because Gamachu already had the sequence broken glove, so he could have gone to West Darkwood to start, but because he knew there had to be progression here, he came here first. But it was just progression putting West Darkwood in logic.
Yeah,
And it looks like
basically.
an item on the boss that we're gonna have to leave behind with no hammer. No big deal though. I expect all the runners to make the same play, go straight into pod.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, makes the most sense after figuring out that key logic, how the gloves are locked behind it and weirdness.
Yeah,
there.
if you're not aware of that though, like if you think that your glove is in logic, going to West Circle first does make more sense. Or it does not more sense, but it does make some sense. Old Man Sunshine reverting to bomb strats here on the ball and chain guards. Not the most efficient way to do this.
Yeah, without any of those, Master Sword or Silvers or Fire Rod, just nothing really makes this a pleasant climb.
The bow, though. I mean, he only had 3 arrows.
But it's just not. It's not as nice as having like Silvers.
Catfish paying out 20 rupees there for Gamachu. And he'll continue on to.
He already got all of his. He already got Ether, so he doesn't even have to go back for that.
To answer chat, I agree with you, Incoherent. I think even if West Arkle was in logic, that pod is the play in this situation. But people would go West Arkle instead of pod because pod's the play, right? Got a meta game if you want to win. Yeah, both GFE and Yalto opting to go north from the pyramid instead of going into pod. Whether this is because they aren't aware that the glove they have isn't in logic, or if they think that this is just a better play, I can't say for sure.
It's definitely. I mean, either way, as long as you try to keep that all in mind, it's not bad.
Well, honestly, like the key logic for the escape, it's not like super well known unless you play a lot of entrance.
Yeah.
Because it's very
Bombos.
rarely comes into play. Yeah, nice medallion. Doesn't really do anything for us quite yet, though. Gamachu headed back to the front of the escape after getting the middle chest there. This is specifically, like, going to the big key chest first is specifically to avoid getting soft locked. There's a chance with the key layout that dropping down the hole, you can't get out unless you went there first to get a small key.
I've actually had that happen to me where I found the lamp there and I'm like, what? just happen.
I almost always go to the vanilla key chest first and make sure I get a small key so it won't happen. And the one time in like 50 seeds where I didn't do it, I got the soft lock. Gamachu mirroring? Oh, he's gonna check ped. Okay.
All right, so now all of our runners have Dark World access.
Back in your portal. Let's go Village of Outcasts.
I really like the plays that have been made so far with all the runners, trying to do different things, and and it's really hard, especially with the way the logic worked out this time that glove is locked behind the other glove. We've seen Bo like that.
I hate that GFE also and Old Man Sunshine all didn't go to pod. Because, like, if you were cognizant of the key logic, you know that there's progression in pod. There has to be. It's 100% chance progression in pod. But it just happened to be the progression that's not actually helpful. So if they just find the hammer, they get to singles if it were Gamachu, who followed the logic, is going to have to double dip it.
I think it was a math girl that mentioned that she wants to see a tournament where you're not allowed to break the logic at all, and see how runners do. I think that wouldn't be a bad thing.
I want my 216 tournament. When is that happening?
Hey, I'm with you. We could do that. That'd be fun.
I don't know how fun that would be to watch for like the chat, but I would love to participate in a tournament that was everybody has to full clear the game no matter what. And there is our second glove, where our logical first glove in the front of Thieves sound for Gamachu. He opts to leave and not potentially orphan the big chest.
Well, without a hammer, it doesn't really make sense to go to the back, especially as a pendant, and the pedestal's not required.
Oh, fun! The hammer can be an Ice Palace.
I've seen that before too.
Ice Palace is currently in Logic. We can go there.
Yeah, we can. I believe you can full clear it with. No, you can't full clear.
Well, you
that.
need the hammer.
You don't have hammer.
But yeah, it actually wouldn't be that surprising to see Gamachu go into Ice Palace at the end of this round if he doesn't find anything nice on the way. Like, he has, like, Dark Death Mountain that he can do, which, is a lot more appealing than going into Ice Palace.
I think anything is more appealing than going into Ice Palace, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but if the hammer's there, then, like, hey, look, I won the game because I got the hammer, like, an hour before everybody else.
Yeah, you certainly could look at it that way, but...
I don't think Gamachu's really that kind of player, though. Gamachu is one of the best execution players we have in the community, so... I feel like his best move is to just play thoroughly, play safely, do the things that make sense, and not make any huge gambles.
Oh, you know what we could? A tournament which could be fun besides 216? A full or insane entrance randomizer key sanity.
Okay, you can calm that one.
What's that?
You can calm that one.
Hey, I'm volunteering both of us.
Here's that fake powder we talked about like 50 minutes ago.
Yep.
GFE. Did it save you anything?
Nope.
No.
Just arrows.
Actually ends up losing him time, both with fake powdering being slower than using real powder, but also he doesn't have the hammer, so he has to re-enter the Dark World. Luckily he has the mitt, so it's not that bad.
No, it won't be bad for him, but hey, sometimes that could pay off too.
Gamachi, you gonna turn in that shovel that you just picked up? No? Okay. Oh, he needed the purple chest. He was gonna if he tried to do it, he was gonna lose his purple chest. That's so frustrating that the purple chest was with him. The seed's getting better and better by the minute. Alright, Yamachu leaving his purple chest behind. This time, totally on purpose. He will be doing a glitch known as the invisible purple chest.
There's just so many of those like little nuances that make it so much fun.
Yeah, this glitch is actually super free. Just leave the purple chest behind in the Dark World and mirror next to the guy. Even getting a Bombos tablet check-in. We don't have 2 swords, so we won't be able to grab it, but information is power. Little piece of love.
So since we know where all the medallions are, we know that Turtle Rock and Misery Mire are required. So we know that we'll need a hammer, fire rod, sword upgrade, and potentially Quake for go mode. They're silvers. And the first bottle, which is nice, which puts Sick Kid into logic.
Oh, Mire. Mire's full clearable. I bet that's where the hammer is.
On Cold Stare? I mean, on
Mire.
Vitreous?
Maybe on Vitreous, I don't know. But, although I don't think Yamachu actually has the Canis Mar yet. He hasn't been to the back of Escape.
No, he must not
looks
have
like he
done...
might head there now. Yeah, he got the glove in the front, knew it was out of logic, and said, okay, fine, I'll just do Aga. Alright, he's going there now. He'll get his Canis Maria, which does put Mire completely full clearable.
Unless it's Quake.
Well, Quake, we know where Quake is and can get
Yes.
it in logic.
Yep. So we certainly could full clear
It's just,
Mire.
it's annoying if it's Quake.
Yeah.
Looks like Yamachu's going to go up to Dark Death Mountain first, though. He'll have Quake before he heads there.
That's actually probably the better
Switch back to the
decision. Or he used the old man to... I don't know. He's just proving both of us wrong at this point.
Well, he switched
I was bringing
he switched to Hookshot and then switched back to Flute.
So Sick Kid, $50. Nothing important. So it looks like Yafalo and Gamachu will be heading in towards Misery Mire at the same time. So we'll get Mire's Shed. And then it is Quake.
It is Quake.
So they will need Quake.
Oh, how annoying.
This scene just is like, nope, we're going to make you guys do everything we can to make it longer. Old Man Sunshine is going to look like he's full clearing to the best of his ability Thieves Town, which is a pendant. No, it's just a crystal, sorry. And so, unless there's something in the big key chest that he may have to come back to.
Yeah, it's a bit less desirable to do backup thief sound, like we were saying before, where you find like something really awesome in the front, the mitts, and then you don't even have the hammer for the big chest, which might have an item. Like, you don't really want to do backup thief sound, but that might be why Old Man Sunshine's doing it, because he knows most people aren't.
And Gamachu's gonna do Lamb Nullis first before deciding what he's gonna do next. And it looks like I'm gonna guess Yaflo might head up to gonna head up to Death Mountain to get his Quake. No, he'll get his sick kid item first and then maybe head up the mountain. Yeah, so Yavlo gonna do Dark Death Mountain, get Quake, and get Dead. Oh, I thought he got Dead Rocked at the same
Squeeze
time.
right
so
through there.
Nice job. I actually like Yavlo's play going to Dark Death Mountain. Gamachu just destroyed Land Mullis with the silver arrows.
Yeah, he got
That
there a
was a
lot
much
quicker
quicker
and then
fight.
had a much faster fight as well. Yeah, everybody else had to
Yeah.
do the NMG bow only fight, which by far is one of the hardest things to do quickly in that entire speedrun.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's not a dangerous fight, you're not gonna die to Lammo usually, but the difference between like a fast Lammo and a slow Lammo is immense.
All right, let's see what's in Super Bunny Cave. We got $20 and Cane of Brian. Not really required necessarily with cape already, but all right, so we're gonna get into Hookshot Cave where we will eventually get up to get Quake. There's my first shield. $20 and $20.
Yeah, so just the quick medallion up here. Meyer's looking pretty darn good for having our hammer.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Ice Palace still looms just around the corner, though. As well as First Chest Swamp, I don't think anybody did.
That's even less appealing. First Chest Swamp. And Ether for Turtle Rock. So flippers to Ether, so to get to Turtle Rock. And Bombos for Ice Palace. So Fire Rod and first chest of Turtle Rock. Or even worse on Laser Bridge.
Possible. Ether being required is kind of nice for Gamachu, though. He was the only one of our runners to do the Splash Delete and grab that on his first trip.
Yeah, so they'll
I believe everybody else
rest of
has
the
it.
runners will have to get over there at some point.
GFE finally feels pressured enough to go into pod. It's going to be a little disappointed only finding the flippers in here.
Well, he'll know that. Well, it won't be a bad thing because he knows he'll find out that he will have to go back up and get the Zora Ledge item. He will have to go back up and get Ether. So it's not a bad thing for him to get his flippers. That puts the first chest of Swamp Palace into logic for him. Actually, with silvers, this will be much faster for him too.
Yeah, save a little time on the mix. Silvers are actually like a really nice pickup with how hard the game is pushing everybody into Mire.
Yeah, exactly. And with it full clearable, yeah, for sure. Oh, there's a hammer.
The hammer was in
I
Mire.
think you called it earlier. So at least it's not a god mire, so that's a good thing. Because you have to get both items out of here, since you still need so many. Since you still need Fire Rod and a sword upgrade.
Yeah, just 2 more items for Go Mode here. Trying to think of what they're going to do next. I think like the standard play here would probably go finish off Helmasaur, who I believe has an item. And then when that's nothing, Swamp Palace and maybe Hammer
Oh,
Pegs.
now Swamp Palace is fully clearable.
There's always a sword in Swamp.
There's always something in Swamp Palace. Actually, in so many races back in like V29, there was always a bow on Laser Bridge of Turtle Rock. Like, always happened.
I believe there's still one more item here in Mire. I don't think Gamachu did the cutscene chest.
Yeah, so we'll see if that's the other item.
Y'all
Or if
are
it's
going to show us
on the
that
boss.
chest now. Yeah, you also down to a heart and a half here in Misery Mire, and he does not have those silvers.
That's gonna be.
Why does he not have the silvers? Did he not do
He
Hype
must
Cave?
not have gone to Hype Cave. Can
It's
he
definitely-
even
it's definitely
clear
not a
the
tracking
boss
error.
with Fighter Sword.
Yeah. You can just use bombs and arrows. Just a small key. So Gamachu will find his second item here on the boss.
Ooh, I don't know about you, but that fight does not sound appealing at all. Fighter Sword, no silvers, I don't even think he has any safeties or anything like that. It's gonna be brutal for him.
Yeah, personally, I would leave the dungeon in this particular situation where, like, I'm already almost dead and Vitreous isn't exactly, like, easy. Leaving and
No.
coming back later is a time loss, but it's a lot less of a time loss than dying.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was saying it's not as appealing. I don't think he has any potions at all.
I'm trying to reason how he didn't get the silvers.
Oh, and GFE is going ice.
Yeah, I was a little afraid of this because, like, the last thing you pick up is the flippers, and all you can think about is flipper things.
Yeah, sadly he won't be able to full clear it, but if he finds, other than really Fire Rod and a sword, there's really not much more he could find that's going to help him at this point because we know where the hammer is.
Yeah, Fire Rod being in here isn't like a super crazy possibility.
No.
Pretty common, you see Bombos locking the Fire Rod in Ice Palace, but it would have to be in one of the non-hammerlock chests for him to even get to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Gamachu headed to finish off Palace of Darkness. It's not really going to get any quicker the longer you wait for it, so might as well do it now. Just a big key in that first chest, in the compass chest. And now Yalto goes to Hype Cave. Okay.
Yeah, that'll be good for him.
I'm not sure what he did. Did he like just leave after getting the Myths and Thieves?
That would be my guess.
It's hard to keep track of what everybody's doing.
Well, it's definitely smarter. I think you had mentioned it while he was in Misery Mire. It makes more sense to go in and, you know, rather than, even though it's a time loss with Misery Mire, you at least got your progression. You have your hammer. You can go clear some other dungeons and then go back and just clear out Vitreous.
Yeah,
rather than
a big
dying
part
over and over again.
A big part of like getting better at the game is being able to recognize your own limits of execution, like what you're capable of doing at the time. And then once you've identified them, then later go and practice those things so they don't limit you next time. But
they have that
you're in the middle
practice
of a
ROM
siege.
out there, so you can practice all this stuff.
Freezor chest, netting GFE a small key. I'll take that over to the right side and check the one check over there I can. Just a heart.
Sankart.
Well, Sankart, yeah. It's kind of nice when you're down to like 3 hearts.
Oh yeah, it's like the best time to get it. So 17 smacks to the face and 1 silver arrow straight to the eyeball will kill Helmasaur. So just 20 bucks. So because of Gamachu's routing, he could now go clear Thieves Town. Well, no, he doesn't need to. But he can go clear Swamp. We're still looking for the Fire Rod for Skull Woods. And yeah, so he's well on his way.
Yeah, Swamp's definitely the strongest play he has available right now.
I'm going to guess that's where he's going next.
Looks like he's going to go, straight to Swamp.
Yeah, he's going to go to Swamp. That makes the most sense. Most item dense location he has.
Oh my god, GFE found the Fire Rod. I missed it, man!
Ah.
The Fire Rod was an Ice Palace, not locked behind the hammer.
So then we now are looking for a sword upgrade at this point.
Yeah, which undoubtedly will be, there will be one on the way in either GT or TR.
Or in the rare case, it may be all 3 swords are in GT.
That is unbelievable. That there was the Fire Rod was an Ice Palace, and GFE went there. Because if we think about the situation that GFE was in, Ice Palace was like horrible. Like, why would you ever go there? And then he goes there anyway and gets rewarded.
It's just one of those things that you don't expect, but that's randomizer.
Yeah, he'll still have to go back up to the mountain and grab the Quake Medallion and then go to Meyer to get the hammer. But he's a lot more likely to skip some of the less desirable like overworld checks than our other runners are. Stuff like Spike Cave, Hammer Pegs, the Back of Thieves. All those things can definitely look better than going into Ice Palace.
Yeah. Especially if you can go mode Ice Palace, which you kind of can't because you need that fire rod. Even though it's not in the logic, technically speaking, because it was just the flippers in pod, you could have single tipped pod.
Yeah, Yalta's actually doing that right now.
Yeah,
Single
that's
tipping
why I
pod.
mentioned it. Because Yalta is doing that right now. Looks like Gamachu's gonna head to the left side of the swamp. I meant to ask, does Silver Arrows do anything to Mafia?
No, they don't.
They don't? Okay. I wasn't sure, so I figured I'd ask. I love watching the boomerang strats that the runners come up with to move faster, especially through like GT and stuff like that.
Mafia being a little rude.
Mafia, get away from the spikes.
There we go. GFE picking up his fourth crystal will likely go to the Meyer area if he hasn't yet and find out that it's Quake required. And then Dark Death Mountain.
So nothing on left side.
Yeah, a little unfortunate. Gamachu playing...
Oh, he did get a Master Sword. So,
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, so left side swamp had the Master Sword, so we are now in commentator go mode.
For sure, yeah. The Master Sword and Swamp that Gamachu gets, you know, it might be the difference between doing like Master Sword Ganon and Temper Ganon, but it's probably not going to be hard required. Just given how little of the game we actually have left to check, it's very, very likely that there's a sword on the way in GT or TR. And if we find both, then the left side sword was a huge time loss for Gamachu.
Oh, there's the big key. So there will be an item in the chest and on the boss, I believe.
Super rude big key.
I'm gonna guess Gamachu's gonna leave that alone. He's not
No
going
way.
back into swamp.
No way, he's totally going back in.
You think so?
This is the guy who did left side first. Do you think he's gonna leave an item here? No way.
I'll go with you on that one then. I don't know. I mean, you got your Master Sword. I mean, he's only looking for one item now.
Yeah, but like you think like from his point of view, where does he go if the fire rod's not in here, right? All of his options are just terrible. Things you definitely don't want to ever have to do in any seed. That kind of makes going back in for the big chest a little nicer.
Yeah, I see your point.
GFA, why are you in Thieves Town? I'm not sure if he's been to the Mire area to find out about the Quake Medallion being required.
Probably not.
And but I think he hasn't been to Dark Death Mountain, right?
No,
To
he
even
hasn't.
get
But
the
he,
Quake
I
Medallion.
think he knows that Quake is up there because he did East Death Mountain, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Yeah. So hopefully he remembers that Quake is there.
But I can't think of any reason for him to go into Thieves Town here.
Yeah,
It's unusual.
yeah,
This is unusual
I'm
to come
baffled
here
on that one.
when you haven't been to Dark
myself.
Death Mountain. Gamachu did go back in for the big chest, but didn't find anything. Where are we headed? Pyramid Ferry?
Yeah,
Yeah.
certainly looks that way. This is the one time where fighting Ag is not necessarily a bad thing because you get to go quicker through the Castle Tower portal.
Yalta goes and finishes off Green Pendant Armos before going into Swamp. A little interesting. He was already here, though, from Dipping Pot anyway, so it does make a little more sense.
Yeah, and it's an extra item, and he's still looking for a couple, so.
Nothing in Pyramid Ferry. So just that one sword from Swamp.
So Gamachu goes to Ice Palace?
I'd go Ice in a heartbeat. Yeah, he said it Ice.
Now here's the question: does he? Is he going to check all the flipper locations? I guess that he missed. Like, but my question is, when he gets that fire rod, does he nope out?
Why wouldn't he?
I'm just.
I mean, that
thinking
the
that's
fire
what he's
rod's
gonna
go mode. Like, did we go mode?
Yeah.
I guess you could say like, oh, I'll stay in the dungeon and maybe find a sword or something, but
But there'll be no need
like
for it.
you already have Master Sword, you're fine.
At least you're not doing Master Sword Silverless, so there's that too.
Okay, now we're going Ice Palace.
I really like Gamachu's routing in this race so far. He's really done a great job with his routing and his item and keeping his item density in all together. It's really been awesome. He's done a great
I'm really concerned about GFE. He is now dipping Swamp without the hammer.
Oof.
Instead of going to Dark Death Mountain.
That's as far as he can go. That's unfortunate.
Did he forget about it? Maybe he went up there but forgot to get the Quake Medallion? I'm not sure. It's really hard to keep track of what runners have done what, but these plays don't make any sense unless GFE is just missing information that he's supposed to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he must have gone to Dark Death Mountain and not grabbed the Quake medallion, like forgot that it was there or something. So he's looking for Quake or Hammer, so he can do Meyer or TR.
Well, hopefully he flutes to 1. You're flashing on it. You're
Yeah,
in the right
this is what did I forget mode. This is not good for GFE.
No.
Very unfortunate because he had that God vision into Ice Palace for the fire rod. He was in a very good spot.
I hope he can get himself together here. This does not feel good. I've been in his position before.
Checking Link's house. Oh no.
Oh, poor GFE. Flute to 1. I know he can't hear me, but flute to 1. You can't fault him on this, but it's unfortunate.
This does make his play into Ice Palace makes a lot more sense now. Like why he did it so early. Because he couldn't do
Yeah.
anything else because he didn't have the Quake medallion. I had just assumed he hadn't been up there at all. Nope, not Hylia Island.
Nope, he's got to go to 1. This does not feel good. I have totally been in GFE's place before. It does not feel good at all. Oh, he's going to start checking everything again. Oh, boy.
Meanwhile, Gamachu giving us our first look at the Hammerlock chest here in Ice Palace. GFE did not have the hammer when he was here earlier. No sword, though.
Nope. Oh, he's just going to recheck everything. Oh, my goodness. That is really unfortunate.
You really want to forfeit in this position, like, because you know, like, even if you were to figure it out later, you lost so much time looking for what you forgot. But you don't want to forfeit because, like, no one's finished yet, right?
Right, exactly.
Maybe everybody else also forgot something.
Yeah.
Plus, being on the restream too feels real bad.
Yeah. I mean, I've never been in a race before. So it is not a good feeling either way. But I have definitely been in his position where I forgot something and didn't check it, and it took me hours to find it, and it's just terrible. I understand what he's
Gamachu's
going
headed
through.
over to Ice-T. Unfortunately, having to go the long way because he did the Ice Palace bomb jump, and the key layout wasn't very friendly.
All right, he's back on the mountain, so that's good. If he hopefully he goes to East Death Mountain. He has his hook shot out. Oh, I hope he goes to East Death Mountain. No.
And there's Go
either
mode
way,
for Gamachu.
at 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 50 seconds, Gamachu has entered Go mode.
Yeah, just a quick stop at Skull Woods, and then we're headed up to TR and GT.
Yep. Oh no.
He'll be able
Oh,
to tell
poor
if there's something in
GFE.
the air basement.
What's
Yeah,
that?
he knows it's just a mat. He's not going to do hair basement if it's not an item. He can tell by the menu. Chat was worried about hair basement.
So Old Man Sunshine did not do Left Side Swamp. Does not have the Master Sword. So I'm wondering if he's gonna hope to get a sword on his way to GT.
He almost certainly will.
Alright, GFA, you are in the right position. You just need to go back and do Hookshot Cave.
Yalto showing us mirror strats here on Argus. While Old Man Sunshine giving us hammer strats on phase 2. Switching to the ice rod. That guy
Yeah,
was
the Ice Rod's
fast.
good for something other than killing Trinex. So nice to see someone using the Ice Rod for something that it wasn't that you never would have thought it could be used for. Well, I'm glad GFE did not forfeit, even though it's going to put him way, way behind. I'm glad he's going to get the Quake Medallion. He will get his hammer, and then he will be able to complete the game once he gets another sword.
Perseverance.
He a couple of Fury slashes there, not uncommon. But you're right, Koi, from earlier. His roll into Ice Palace is because he nothing else he could do because he forgot about the Quick Medallion. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, at the time I thought he was just making like the big, let's try and win the race kind of gamble. But nope.
Well, Old Man Sunshine is gonna check Left Side Swamp. He will get the Master Sword. But he also does not know that the Fire Rod's not here, which he's looking for 2 items.
Same for Yalto. Yalto headed back to Vitreous now to get that.
So we have
This time the
Sync,
silvers.
Ice, Misery Mire plays now, which is nice.
Game of 2 opens Turtle Rock, his final crystal dungeon. We want to pay close attention to whether or not Game of 2 finds a sword in here, and if it's in a chest that Yalto will be able to grab on the way.
Yeah, well, the other question is how fast can he get through Turtle Rock? What is Turtle Rock's layout going to allow? Because sometimes you can really cut a lot of things out depending on how the keys are laid out here. And if you get the big heat early.
Yalto still having trouble here in Mire, down to 1.5 hearts yet again. Sorry, half a heart.
He does have a fairy,
Yeah,
though,
he's
this
got a
time.
fairy.
Single arrow and another key.
There are some places we haven't seen that could have the 3 swords that were, or the 2 swords that were missing, but there's only like 3 or 4. So unless this is an extraordinarily unlucky seed, that sword on left side swamp probably won't be needed. But it might mean that Gamachu gets like a tempered fight instead of a Master Sword fight. He also going to use that fairy.
Luckily, he had it.
Yeah, I think we haven't seen Thieves' Big Chest, Hammer Pegs, or Spike Cave. Is that it?
I think that's it. Everything else has been checked.
Maybe one item in Ice Palace that we haven't seen. I'm not sure if we found all three or not. So it is possible that those very few locations hold all the swords that remain. But very unlikely. We're also not going to go look at Mimic Cave or the Big Chest here in TR.
Yeah, so or Laser Bridge. I don't think. Is he gonna? Does he have enough keys?
This has to be a small key in this next chest for him to skip Laser Bridge.
And no, so he'll have to go to Laser Bridge.
GFA taking down Vitreous. It's still a sword away from go mode, but like Yalto, he'll be able to just hope there's a sword on the way. I'm not sure what Yalto thought was going to happen there. Oh, poor Yalto. Key in the first chest, Gamachu not checking the rest of Laser Bridge, so we won't be able to find out if there's a sword there for quite a while.
Nope. And Old Man Sunshine also did left side swamp, so he won't do any of those checks either. All right, so as Gamachu is just about ready to clear Trinax, there are 22 locations that the GT Big Key can be. Once Trinax falls, if you guys would like to put in chat where you think that Big Key will be today, once you have probably about, I don't know, minute and a half once Trinax falls before he gets to GT.
The earlier the big key is, the better it is for Gamachu versus people who may not have got that sword on left side swamp.
Yeah.
Because like if the big key is like in the first chest, but you're on fighter sword, you feel not that great about climbing the gauntlet. Maybe go do some of the more dense locations in the basement first, where Gamachu already having the master sword would be able to just go straight away.
All right, so there down goes Trinax. He will have his 7th crystal. So Koi, where do you think the big key will be today?
1.
You're going 1. I'm going Torch.
I don't like guessing.
You know, like
I don't want to like put anything out into the ether, you know.
I'm just
like
going,
I say tower room, and then it ends up being tower room, and then everybody blames me, and it's all my fault. So no,
it's always commentator's fault.
So I like
go
to guess
wrong.
So if I'm right, then it's like at least nice.
Yeah, I'm going Torch. So that usually you'll see most of the time 3.
Crunch, 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 crunch.
All right, so 1 hour, 35 minutes, and 8 seconds. Gamachu has entered GT.
Headed to the Hope Room, where he hopes to find the big key.
Oh, first chest is the map. Second chest, fire shield.
Yeah, no small key, kind of forced into the hope route here. Gonna go
Yep.
whole left following those two.
Nope. Bob lives today. $300 is on the torch.
I mean, I guess you could like do Southwest Room and then mirror and pretend you were doing Magician the whole time, but that's inefficient.
So Old Monk Sunshine's gonna check Spike Cave, which just has $20. Half Magic. Heart Container. 10 arrows. And another small key. We're up to 9, I believe.
You also being a little hopeful here that the fire rod might be in TR.
So chest number 9, $300.
I don't remember the key layout to see how much this is going to punish him or not.
Alright, Snake Bar Room will be chest number 10. There's another small key. Small key. There's the big key. So that's 11? Did I count that right? 11?
I have no idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Yeah, 11.
10, 11. Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Very important,
If you
though.
guessed chest 11 in chat. Congratulations. You have won the big key guessing game.
Very important. We did not see a sword on the way in either TR or on the way to the big key here. Other runners might take different routes through GT and maybe find a sword in Compass Room. Or perhaps there was just a sword sitting on Laser Bridge that somebody with Fighter Sword would have checked.
Yeah. So far, the only two runners, GFE and Yafalo, are the only ones that have Fighter Sword at this point. So they will definitely have to clear more out.
It's a little surprising that Yalto didn't do left side swamp. Seeing as he's still looking like for the fire rod.
Yeah.
Where
Little
for
does he know it's a nice
GFE,
palace.
GFE being in Master Sword Go mode, he's much more likely to skip left side here.
Yeah, especially with that, with his mistake from earlier, he's definitely skipping left side. And there's still locations in GT where where the swords could be too. And we just may never know.
You can see how much everybody hates doing Ice Palace, though, Yalto. Still not wanting to go there.
I say it every time I commentate. I despise Ice Palace and will stay as far away from it as possible for as long as possible. And it has burned me more times than I would like to admit. But I mean, I hate Ice Palace.
It's
But-
the best dungeon.
Sure.
Old Man Sunshine, just like Yamachu, when he was here, having to take the long way to Ice Tea.
There's Tempered.
Yep, nice sword on the way. Kind of unfortunate it's up in the gauntlet, though.
So that means that there's only one more sword in the entire game. So potentially Laser Bridge, but at least now the runners won't have to go back and do checks after GT. So all the runners should have at least Master Sword on Ganon.
Yeah, that left side Swamp Sword probably ends up not being worth the time it took to get it. Like, the Master Sword fight's obviously a lot slower than the Tempered fight, but it's not as slow as doing left side Swamp.
I don't know, because not doing spin strats on Ganon,
Well, they have
I don't
silvers.
think the extra minute would save that you save on Ganon.
Oh, it's not a minute. It's less than that. And left side Swamp is like, I don't even know, like 2.5 minutes or something.
Well, down goes Agatu for Gamachu. He will fight the big pig himself.
GFE leaves Swamp without that sword, so he'll have to hopefully just find one on Laser Bridge. Like, Laser Bridge would be ideal. Barbacoa.
All right, so Gamachu is done with phase 1. Now on to phase 2. Now on to phase 3. Just one strike on each. Once Ganon stops telling. Then 4 silver arrows to the face. And he will be first on the restream. And now on to phase 4. Does not get the torch glitch. Doesn't really need it for silvers. Oh, you got the triple.
Very
Nice. Nice job, Gamachu. So once Gamachu crosses the bridge, please get ready to spam those GGs in chat. And he has finished. So get those GGs in chat for Gamachu, who has finished first on the restream.
Yeah, surprising nobody at all. Gamachu finishes first on the restream and second overall with a time of 1:43.47. Just a couple minutes behind Hitsian. Yalto's getting super desperate checking the Spike Cave here. Just anything but Ice Palace, right? I mean, there's a point where you've chosen not to do something for so long that it starts feeling like you can't do it anymore. Like, going there is the worst thing you could ever do. And so you go and do everything else instead.
Yeah. That's definitely the truth on that.
Eventually you run out of locations, though, and Yalto heads to Ice Palace. would love to get an interview with Gamichi, you guys, but I don't see him join the chat. It might have something to do with the bot, though, and not his fault.
And we are joined by
there he
Gamichi. GG's.
Hey, GG's.
So, your
Congrats.
thoughts on this siege?
I liked it. It wasn't too bad.
So you were following the key logic in the castle, right? That's
Yeah, I noticed that
Yeah,
glove was it was actually glove locked, I believe.
yeah. So getting into the dark world, you knew like 100% there was something in pod that you could reach.
Yeah,
And it was
pod
like,
or
hopefully
anywhere.
or the hammer. The other 3 runners, all of them did not go to pod. And we won't know until we talk to them, but I think they may have just not been aware that the glove they had was out of logic. So the pod was the only logically accessible place.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh.
But because they did that, a couple of them got to single dip pod because it was just the flipper.
Well, I mean, it's I guess it worked out for their benefit. But
Yes,
usually, if I do end up doing an Aga seed, unless it's a pendant dungeon, I almost always dip pod.
Right.
It's like a thing with me. I don't know why.
I thought it was amusing that you lose time because you know how the game works.
I was kind of hoping that flippers I got in there in pod maybe might lead me to hammer, like, I don't know, first chest of swamp, maybe?
Did you check that?
No. I got the myths from the Thieves Town, so I thought, okay, this Mire looks appetizing. Then I noticed, okay, it's Quake, so I gotta go up there in Death Mountain, the floating island, get that. Go back in Mire, and boom, there's my hammer.
Yeah,
You
everything
can
kind
probably
of.
blame me for that. I said I said that we're missing Quake, which we know where it is, and Koi's like, yeah, but it's in a mirror lock location, which we had the mirror, and I'm like, but they might need it for Misery Mire, and sure enough, you guys needed it, so I'll take the blame for that one.
Of course.
Yeah, moderately annoying having to go back up there for the medallion.
I kind of was kicking myself a bit because when I was up there, I figured, okay, I have all 3 medallions. I don't have to worry about that for Turtle Rock. But as I was clearing swamp, I thought, oh man, what if it's not here and it's in Ice Palace? Maybe that's why we got bombos. I should have just checked that medallion requirement for Turtle Rock. And if it was Ether or Quake, I may have dipped Ice Palace before swamp. Just because, I don't know, maybe
Yeah, I can see that.
I felt, that might have been a play. But I'm kind of glad too I did swamp because of sword upgrade. Were all the swords
so you
found?
got to do
No.
Tempered Sword Ganon, as Old Man Sunshine will be doing Tempered Sword Ganon too, assuming he picks it up, but at the moment we don't know where that other sword is. And so far, GFE, who is one of the other runners, is on Laser Bridge now, has not found the 4th sword. Oh, there it is.
There it is. It was on Laser Bridge for test.
And now we know where
Okay.
all 4 swords are.
So it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too out of the way.
Yeah, so it's nice for GFE though. Getting it there instead of up the gauntlet. So now he won't be in that like, do I go on to Ice Armos and hope to find a sword, or do I just gamble on the gauntlet?
Oh, he ended up skipping left side swamp.
He had the
Okay.
fire rod before going to swamp.
Oh, he made that play.
No, he
Oh,
didn't.
that was, oh,
It's
what happened?
a whole different thing. GFE forgot about the Quake Medallion on
Oh.
the island. So yeah, he did Dark Death Mountain, but didn't come back with the Quake Medallion. So
Oh, okay.
he went into Ice Palace because he had nowhere else to go.
Oh, well, that's really unfortunate. I mean, good he got the hammer. It wasn't hammer. I mean, the fire
Yeah,
rod.
it was very convenient that it wasn't Hammerlock because that would have been so much worse.
Yeah. No, but pretty all. I did enjoy the seed overall. Pretty nice.
Yeah, I think this is exactly the kind of scene I like to play, where you can make like these logical reads from the items that you found so far, and it's not just in some obscure location that you never want to go to.
Yeah. Normally, I would be tempted by, oh, I got a glove. Let me do the back escape. But I already knew. Okay, I know a glove cannot be back there, and it can be on landmost because I think those are all the checks I had before committing to Aga. So yeah, it just felt good. Okay, I'll do Aga. I'm pretty sure this is a play.
everybody else did both of those, went to the back of escape and back to Landmo, and did the
okay.
the NMG Landmo fight, which was unfortunate.
Yeah, that's not fun. I don't like to
Not
do that.
But I'm not sure if it's because they didn't realize that the glove was out of logic, or if they were just hoping for like a very, very lucky hammer or something.
Yeah, I did think about that for a while. I was
It's
getting scared.
possible. Like hammer just sitting on Landmo, that's possible.
Yeah.
So now knowing where everything is, do you regret going left side swamp knowing that there is a sword on Laser Bridge? Or
Yes.
you are?
Yeah, it was definitely a time loss.
Yeah, I hate doing left side swamp, but I got I think it was a map or compass on the second chest. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to go back, double dip. Then I get a big key. I think it was on the waterfall room. So I'm like, there's an item in there, like a guaranteed item. I have to come back.
Yeah, it was a much different situation for you than for GFE, because you were not just looking for the Master Sword, you also still needed the Fire Rod at that point.
If that sword wasn't on Laser Bridge, I would have felt good, because I think everybody might have full cleared the basement of GT looking for a sword before doing the climb.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's funny though. You open like one extra chest and then look, the Temperance Sword.
Yeah, I was shocked. I'm like, okay, cool, that's pretty nice.
It's like
Yeah,
you didn't feel compelled to check Laser Bridge, but yeah, this chest is like right
No.
here. Might as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's by the door. Let's do it. Let's see what it is. And bam, Tempered Sword. That felt pretty good. If I got that small key in like the second or third chest, I might have full cleared it, but it was the first time. Like, okay, I'm out of here.
I really enjoyed your routing through the game. You're keeping your item density and really just doing such a good job keeping all that together. Where in a seed like this, especially with the gloves, locking the gloves, it's just not easy to sometimes keep all that in the back of your head. And then I believe you were the only one that did the splash glitch also coming off of Zora. So you were able to save time there as well. So it was really cool to watch that all from our side.
Okay, yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm
I think
still learning a
somebody
few
else
things
did
here and there.
I think somebody else did try the Splash Relief, but ended up getting stuck on top of the water with the water walk.
Oh. Yeah, as I saw the item, it was an ether. As I was going up there was water walk, so I just thought, okay, I gotta get rid of this so I could, because once I get an item from Zora, I think I just go in a swimming state.
Yeah,
When
you
I
have
have
to swim back over to land.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I just gotta get it out of the way in case Zora drops something good.
I'm not sure what's faster. It might be faster to just lose your water walk from the Zora item and then just swim back over to land rather than walk in the hallway.
Yeah, I never timed it. I'm just too lazy to do it. I'm like, okay, let's just do it this
Plus,
way.
there's also the chance that Zora doesn't have anything and you don't have to lose your water walk at all.
Yeah, most of the time. I want to say about maybe 80% of the time, Zora's just garbage.
80% seems generous. I would have gone with like 95, 96.
I was about to say.
I want to give Zora the benefit of the doubt.
Are you on his payroll? do you get a kickback?
Get a good kickback of that 500 rupees he gets.
Oh, there you go.
GFP unfortunately doing Dark Magician here.
Oh, he did a full right?
Yeah, he did a Dark Magician.
Oh, there's
yeah.
Powder. And Mirror Shield. Oh, boy.
Oh, did anybody end up doing fake powder?
Really?
GFP did, I think.
I believe everybody did, didn't they?
No. I only remember seeing it the one time.
We'll have to ask the other runners. I don't remember. Well, no, GFV couldn't because he didn't keep his. He didn't hard reset. So
No, it was Game of Two that didn't.
Yeah, I kind of regretted that a bit. I'm like, I just finished saving, quitting. I could just, hard reset it there.
Yeah, personally, I'm not a huge fan of fake powder. Like, I don't think it's usually not worth it. But yeah, in that situation, like, it doesn't really cost you anything to save the mushroom, so you like might as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would have done it in that situation because, like, even though you had the mitts, like, you still didn't have the hammers. So you would have had to like loop back and re-enter the dark world.
but that could have been hammer too, though.
If that was the case, I would have cried.
I mean, it was possible, but like, you don't have the powder, so it seems unlikely.
No, of course, and with powder being in GT, which we just found out. So
Yeah, the thing with like sequence breaking is like most of the time that you do sequence breaks, the idea is to sequence break in a way that makes the game more efficient. Like we do the dark rooms in pods, so we don't have to go find the lamp somewhere. But when you're doing sequence breaks to check things that you're not supposed to be able to check anyway, hoping to find progression that's skipping other things that you're going to need to find eventually anyway, like it stops feeling worth it. And fake powder is exceptionally slow. Seeing as it's a slow version of an already slow check. You also taken out Mothula. One more crystal to go for him. Old Man Sunshine finally gets that big key, headed up to the gauntlet.
it looks like GFE and Old Man Sunshine will be pretty close on second and third on the restream. I don't know what happened to GFE's stream, but
I'm sure it'll pop back in right during the Ganon fight.
Alrighty, I think I'm gonna have to get out of here. Thank you guys for putting me on restream. Thank you, Koi and Nitro, for commentary. Appreciate it.
thank you for being with us.
And thank you for Tracker as well, doing an awesome job.
Yeah, Captain solo tracking for some of the day here. We had a Math Girl earlier, but I think she had to leave when everybody got all their items anyway.
So Yafla adjusted a pedestal pole. He must not have checked it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his plan here is. Like, if he's just memeing around, or if he's just actually looking for a sword. I don't think he's looking for a sword though, because if he was like really hard looking for a sword, I'm gonna do absolutely everything. He would have done Left-Side Swamp earlier.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
The swords that Yalto doesn't have are Left Side Swamp, Laser Bridge, and Mini Helmosaur Room in the top of GT. So there's 2 swords on the way for Yalto.
Yeah, I think I would have read the pedestal first before pulling it, but I guess once you go through all the pendant dungeons, you're pulling pedestal regardless.
Oh, always blind pull. Always blind pull. Okay, he's got to be memeing, right? Because I'm pretty sure he checked those.
Oh, he definitely did. Well, if we get him in interview, we can ask.
Well, we're already over the 2-hour mark here. We may not even stick around long enough to see him finish. Old Man Sunshine's Tempered Sword making quick work of this gauntlet. Bypassing those 2 chances.
GFE is Pat, is
Oh,
that
yep, there
Komodo?
it is.
You're so right. I love it. Oh. But he's gonna be so it's gonna be Master Sword Ganon versus Tempered Sword.
No, he is tempered.
Oh, he does? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was
he
gonna
must have
say.
put the chest in the gauntlet.
So yeah.
Yeah, GFE definitely with the advantage here, but you lose a lot of time if you like die or fall to Ganon, so it's definitely not guaranteed at this point.
No, for sure. Definitely not. Well, while GFE and Old Man Sunshine are fighting Aga 2, and Yafalo heads into Turtle Rock, we just want to remind you to, if you guys have the time, to please follow all of our runners, because they have put on an amazing show on this Friday afternoon, and this Fast Friday, and as well as all of our trackers, and my co-commentator Koi, and myself, Nitro6003.
Fast Friday kind of a misnomer with this seed, though, huh?
Yeah, this definitely was not a fast seed by any stretch of the imagination.
Like, yeah, Gamachu got second place overall, and his was already over 140. Still, I think this was a pretty nice seed.
Yeah,
It just
I mean,
it wasn't a fast one, but it was nice. I like
it wasn't too trolly.
Played out.
So GFE gets his first arrow. Is he gonna get a triple also? Does not. But does get the fourth arrow into Ganon. So GFE will be second on the restream. Get your chat, your GGs ready in chat for GFE underscore 12. He will cross the finish line and get your GGs in chat.
Yeah, GFE
I'm glad
takes
he decided
second.
to finish after all the
Yeah,
problems
absolutely.
he had with the Quake medallion earlier. He really made up good time.
Takes second on the restream and ninth overall with a time of 2:03:59.
Perseverance for him. He really stayed with it. And Old Man Sunshine right behind him. His fourth arrow into Ganon. And he will finish third on the restream. Get your GGs in chat ready for Old Man Sunshine as he crosses the finish line.
And he finishes 11th overall with a time of 2:04:44.
Yeah, this was. I'm glad that GFE just got peace out, did not forfeit, because he really showed, even though he made that early dip into Ice Palace, and joining us now is GFE.
Hey guys, GG's.
So I'd like to just point out how proud I am of you, because it's so easy to forget one of these like one-off locations that you saw earlier with the Quick Medallion, and you didn't give up, you persevered, and you ended up finishing second on our restream. So I really am proud, because it's so easy to be like, I have no idea where to go, and I've been in your position, just never in a race.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It never feels good to be in that position. In a way, I don't know if it was a blessing or a curse, just because at least I found. But still, I can't even remember if I actually checked the island and forgot, or if I just never checked it to begin with. But usually when that does happen, I'll go back, check early checks, and then I'll check the items in open locations, because I tend to forget those more often than other things. So if that ever happens to someone, that's my advice. Go check the freestanding items.
And also joining us in chat is Old Man Sunshine. GG.
GG's. Sorry it took me so long.
So,
Don't worry, I was right there ahead of you barely.
Yeah, I saw that.
so between both of you guys, what did you guys think of this seed overall?
I don't think I can say on a family-friendly channel.
Yes, please keep it family friendly.
No, if I hadn't missed that hook the first time around, it would have helped.
I should have gone to Aga 1 earlier. I felt like it was an Aga 1 seed. And later in the seed, when I got the flippers out of pod, I was terrified. I was like, don't tell me Hammer's gonna be on Hobo, because I'm gonna be pretty salty. Because I realized that the attempts with the Ancilla shenanigans weren't working is probably because of my Armo spot, because I'm variable. And so I was extremely nervous that's where Hammer was going to be. But it turned out I just needed to get that Quake medallion that I forgot about.
It's actually kind of amusing. When we saw you going to Ice Palace without but you didn't have the Quake medallion at that point, we had lost track of you. And at the time, I thought that you just hadn't been to Death Mountain yet to do Dark Death Mountain, and that's why you didn't have the Quake medallion, and that you were just like God visioning your way into Ice Palace, and you find like this fire on. It's like, oh my God, GFP is gonna win this race. He just has to go back up to Death Mountain real quick and get the Quake medallion. And it was only when you started doing like Thieves Town and things like that, it was like it became clear, like, oh, he just forgot that. Oh no, he forgot that, you know.
Yeah, if you go back and watch the restream, especially, you'll hear me say, click one. I know you can't hear me, but click one. Flute to one.
It took everybody else a very long time to make that play into Ice Palace, where you were forced there by that mistake.
I mean, when I saw what had happened, I knew that everybody else was going to get trolled by that fire rod. But having full cleared Thieves Town and you in rechecked areas, it just felt so bad. When I was sitting on my flute menu going from number to number, I was thinking to myself, I wonder what number chat's typing in right now.
So one thing I wanted to ask both of you was, were you guys aware that the glove you found in the escape was out of logic?
Out of logic? How so?
The boomerang chest and the boomerang chest and the Zelda cell chest are both logically locked behind the small key, which was in the back and thus locked behind the glove. So your glove was locked behind a glove.
Huh.
That is true. I did not think about that, but you're right.
If you follow that, when you get to the Dark World, the only place you can logically go at that time is in Pod. So Pod had to have progression at that point, but everybody except for Gamachu passed it up.
Huh.
But it's amusing though, because the progression that was in there was just West Dark World access, which is where you guys ended up going. So Gamachu following the logic and knowing there was something in Pod means he ends up double dipping something that other people got to single dip.
Yeah, I actually didn't know about that bit of logic. I'll remember that.
I did know about that, but I didn't think about it at the time. I was just so happy to see my glove.
Yes, since I got that glove and unknowingly out of logic, and I had Moon Pearl, I was like, okay, I'm one item away from Dark World access. So I ended up full clearing before I did Agate 1. So that was about 40 minutes into the seed.
Yeah, I mean, it was still possible.
Same here.
It was like possible for the hammer to like be on Lambo or in back of escape or something. So it's
Yeah,
not
that's-
it's not
that's
like
why
it
I
was
kept going.
wrong to go do that and maybe get the sequence break Aga. But yeah, finding the glove there means
I
that
mean,
Aga was
even
definitely
if-
required.
Even if I had not realized that that was out of logic, I probably still would have full cleared, because the only place you could logically access in the Dark World was the pyramid and pod, and I kept assuming to get up to West Dark World, which was actually correct. It was just the flippers were your access.
Yeah, honestly, after Aga 1, I think I did just fine. It's just, I took a long time to get to the Dark World.
My GT routing in this seed didn't help matters.
I got lucky. I went full left. Actually, I was
actually tempted.
I was gonna mirror to go right side after Rando Room, but that's where the key happened to be. And I just saw Yelfo took a death to Trinex, but he took the safety door. Thank good for that. It was a bit of a trolley seat, and honestly, you can pretty much count on Fire Rod being in Pendant Ice Palace, let's be honest.
Yeah, all 3 medallions were required this.
Yeah, and one was doubly so.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Let me just real quick thank you guys, Koi and Nitro, for the commentary. I look forward to hearing me disappoint you guys on the restream when I completely forgot Quake. And thanks to Captain MD, looks like he was our tracker today, and gaming crew as well, except for Math Girl. I'm not going to thank Math Girl for this seed.
Oh, thank you, Math Girl.
See you guys.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna have time to watch Yalto finish the whole seed from here.
GG's Yelfo.
So you have anything else to add, Old Man Sunshine, before we wrap it up?
No, same thing that GFE said. Thanks y'all for helping out, and GG's to everyone.
Nice words. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much to our runners. Remember to give these guys a follow, GFE, Old Man Sunshine, Gamashu, and Yalto. Maybe even head over to Yalto's stream to watch him finish up this seed. This is going to be it for us today at the 2 p.m. daily here, our open early boots defeat game and seed. There will be another daily tonight, I believe. It is being restreamed. That's my understanding. It'll be another early boots seed. So be sure to check that out at 9 Eastern. Thank you guys so much. I'm Koi on commentary, and with me was Nitro, who unfortunately had to go, so he won't be able to say goodbye. But I know he wanted to. And much love to our tracker, Captain MD, and Mathro, who was tracking earlier. Thank you guys so much. And we'll see you next time, everybody.